Welcome to the podcast that opens your eyes to understand true wealth. We are obliterating mentalities and misconceptions that you may have had about wealth. Welcome to Journey to Wealth with Temi. I'm here with Faith Praiz, also known as Faith A. Praiz, the legend who has sold more than 30 million records, which is quite astonishing. We have been taking time in the past couple of episodes to break down the truths hidden within this book that he has written. More than 100 truths you need to know about wealth. In our last episode, we talked about the first ingredient of wealth being faith in God, because remember, wealth is a complex state of many different ingredients. It's like a soup almost. And some of those ingredients, faith in God, strategic relationships, and so on, which we'll get into today. We kind of dived into strategic relationships last time. And please, don't forget, if you don't have it already, information is in the description on how you can get this book today. So let's start with strategic relationships. I want to understand why you use that word strategic, because one thing that I've learned as I've been engaging with you is that you choose your words deliberately. Strategic is there for a reason. So why exactly did you put it there?
People connect. People relate, depending on the reason. Naturally, you are born into a family and you are expected to relate with your family. Yeah. But the word strategic is talking about a design that is towards achieving an ultimate goal. When there is a system or combinations of things that you can put together in order to achieve a definite goal.
Okay.
Strategic means important. It means it's pivotal to where you are going.
Okay.
And so it's different from your biological people, your relatives, your family, or just acquaintance or friends. This is deliberately chosen. In most cases, you've been to school. Yeah. By being in school, you have friends. You meet with people. You connect with people. Even in the internet, you are in one group or the other. But this strategic relationship is deliberately chosen because you have an aim. You have a goal. And this goal cannot be achieved except with certain individual or groups of people. And you go for them. So strategic relationship is a kind of wealth ingredient.
I see. And that point that you mentioned, it's very clear that strategic relationships are deliberately built. It's not something that I just fall into. Like, as I would say, the biological relationships, like your brother, your sister, aunt, uncle, and so on, those are not inherently strategic unless I choose to build that. Which takes me into my next question, because you did mention I believe it's in the action points, to start your strategic relationships or building strategic relationships with your immediate family. How does one go about that?
You have to be sure that your biological relationship are pivotal, they are important, they will be useful towards your path to wealth.
Yes.
If not, there's nothing wrong in, finding another path.
Yes. Now, as we mentioned that there are strategic relationships that are useful to your path to wealth. Yeah. I'm guessing when we talk about the first action point being, let me quote it exactly, get a clear goal or vision. Yeah. Is the goal the wealthy place, or can you just break that entire thing down?
Yes, the goal can be the wealthy place if wealth is your goal.
Okay.
There are other goals. You may have health as your goal. You may have other things. There are business goals, there are family goals, but in the context of our discussion is wealth.
Yes.
So your goals can come from God, just like in the beginning of this discussion. Remember our key verse, Deuteronomy 8:18.
Yes.
It said, remember, for it is He, that is God, who has given you the power to make wealth, so He can establish His covenant with your fathers.
Yes.
Right? So we're saying that we should desire to be wealthy. That means such a goal comes from God.
Exactly. Yeah, that's true.
It comes from God. I want to be wealthy because God said He's giving me power to be wealthy.
Yes.
So goals comes from God. Goals comes from personal desires. Goals can come from the gaps that you have noticed in a society or in your context or in a particular country or in the world at large. That this gap, I want to fill it. Goals come through many ways. But because of time, I think those three are good.
All right, that's great. That's very interesting to me. I do want to also ask as well why you put that as the first action point.
Yes, because the Bible says where there is no vision, people cast off restraint. Another translation says, if there is no word from God. And then let's put it this way in our discussion. If you don't have a personal goal or destination, then you do anything. You behave anyhow. You spend anyhow. You have any friend. And then that will lead you nowhere. And so many times this has been some challenges that have hindered many people. They desire to be wealthy. Some desire to do well in life. But the association, friendship, the people that surround them are just not right for such a desire to come to pass.
Yes. And it makes so much sense to me how a goal determines basically the way that you arrange or set the track of your life. Because we even see it in businesses. They have a goal for the end of the year, which determines how much they need to sell, how many people they need to hire, who needs to be let go, what kind of trainings needs to be done within the company, and so on. And that's the same principle that applies to your own individual life, which is very key. Now, I'd like to go into something that I think is very important still on this topic of strategic relationships being the second ingredient of wealth. We live in a digital or digitized society where most people are online, social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and all of those things. Now, as a result of engaging mainly online, some people no longer know how to physically have a relationship with someone or even start or have a conversation with another individual. So for those that are introverts or maybe socially awkward, how do they go about developing these strategic relationships?
We're in a world right now, as you have rightly mentioned, where internet has made the world a global village.
Yes.
So literally, everything is possible. You can connect with a strategic person via those media.
Yes, that's true.
So many adverts are rolling per second, and you have right to choose the one that will be right for you. But the internet is an advantage to everyone.
Okay.
You can leverage on that, and in fact, they make things very easy.
Yeah, they certainly do. And just as you mentioned again, it's connecting to goals, because even if you see those advertisements on Become My Mentee, you have to have a goal in your life that makes you say, this person fits into me or into what I
Yes, let me put it this way. If you know where you're going, then that gives you some kinds of weigh reasons and qualities of people you look for.
Okay.
For instance, this person, has he been to where I am going to?
Yeah.
Does he have adequate experience? Can he lead me to where I'm going? Does he have what it takes? What are the evidences that surrounds his life that prove it can take me to where I am going? I mean, you have enough information guarded by your goals to pick your mentor or your teacher. And there are so many books written out there. So many audio books.
There are. Yeah.
And if you don't have one, you can try by starting to read this book.
Exactly. More Than 100 Truths You Need to Know About Wealth is definitely the book to start with. Now, as we are going into kind of discussing that mentor-mentee relationship, I think it might be important to talk about some misconceptions that some people may have. For example, as a mentee, yes, you have the right to choose your mentor, but that doesn't mean you have the right to control that person and say, do this for me. Like, I like where you are. I like who you are. I want to become you. But at the same time, I don't want this side. Give me this part of you and that kind of thing. So that is to say, how do you manage a mentor-mentee relationship?
Well, it depends on who the mentor is and who the mentee is. There is no one rule fits all.
Okay.
So it's based on agreement.
Yeah.
As I've said earlier on, you have to choose somebody who has been to where you are going.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. If the person has been to where you are going, it's like you are in a car and a driver is driving. It's too late to be telling the driver you don't know how to drive.
Yeah.
There'll be an accident. So it's better you choose knowledgeably, you choose reasonably, you ask questions, and you may ask people who might have gone through such process. But you don't go into a relationship and begin to war.
Yes,
it
or
doesn't
dictate.
Make sense. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So in the beginning of every relationship, you guys have to sit down, agree on some basic things. Oh, what do you want me to do for you? What can I get from you? So you agree and arrange.
Yes, I think the agreement is very key because both parties are aware that they're in the relationship.
Yeah.
It's not one person that thinks we're in a... Yes, no assumption. That's the word I'm looking for. So that's very important. I'd like for us to spend some time going through the action points on how to build strategic relationships. Again, I really appreciate the facts that you include action points because it helps an individual to know this is my takeaway from this section of the book and this is what I need to do, which most books don't have. So this is important. We've talked about the first one, which is to get a clear goal or vision. We've also discussed the second one, build strategic relationships with like-minded individuals. Start with your immediate family. Now, start to develop. This is the third one. Start to develop and move towards persons needed to contribute to your life in order for you to hasten your journey to a wealthy place. What would you like to say on that?
Yeah, you must bring something to table. It's one thing to say, well, I need a mentor.
Yeah.
It's another thing for the mentor to want you. So you have to develop yourself to a point that mentor wants you.
I'd like more on that.
If a mentor advises you to read a book,
yeah. Okay.
and you cannot read, if the mentor wants you to go with him or her or visit a seminar, and you say you cannot afford it, so you have to have a level or develop to a level for you to be a good mentee that will be accepted by a mentor.
So can I say that my level of development affects who is attracted to me?
Of course.
In terms of relationship.
Of course. Because remember, the mentor need a mentee.
Yes.
For also his own reason. And one of the reasons is somebody who will not, at the end of the process, prove him or her to be a liar. So mentors like the mentee that becomes their testimony. Because they go through the process with their mind and heart, and click, everybody's happy at the end of the process.
Yeah. You know, I have to just mention, I would have never thought that by being let's say, a not so good mentee, you make your mentor a liar. That is just an interesting point. Jot that down if you didn't get that, because you're basically like an evidence of what your mentor is teaching you or what they're leading you towards.
Exactly.
Yes, and that's very wow. Yeah. Wow is the only word I can think of. That's very amazing. Now, the next action point is to become the kind of person that can make the relationship work. There must be a plan for resources, time, feedback, and humility that allows the relationship to flourish. If possible, take notes and record at every opportunity you come in contact with a strategic person.
Yeah.
So what do you have to say on that? Is it I'm walking around with a notebook and I'm jotting down?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, really?
Practically, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because what comes everywhere, things that might change your life may not come in a very structured manner.
Yeah.
At times you're eating at the table and it flows. All right, you must be able to pen it down, jot it down on your phone or something. At times it's a phone call, and you are not talking even in line of some things, but it flows. And you have to be at alert when you are around your strategic relationship or your mentor.
Yes. I think that is very key, being alert, because at any point in time, a strategic person can come, and I have to be aware that, this person is strategic. Yeah. I need this person, or they may need what I have as well. Yeah. And lastly, we have here, no matter the level you are, try to relate strategically with somebody. What do you mean by level? What is determining level?
Water finds their level. What determines the level? So many things. You are just coming out from school. You don't have no experience. Yeah. No matter who you are, you need relationship. Yes. Now you will see in that book I mentioned briefly types of relationship or levels of relationship.
Yes, you do.
See, there is mentor-mentee relationship. That's like sometimes boss subordinate kind of. And there is colleague. People, your peers. Yes. In your level, they know what you know. You've been to the same school. All right? And there is also somebody below you, just like somebody higher than you. No matter the level you are, you're higher than somebody. No matter. You're just entering into university. Somebody has not entered university.
That's true.
You are just entering secondary school. Somebody is still in primary school. You understand? Yeah. If you say, well, I do not have 100,000 in my account, somebody is yet to receive the first income. So try to relate with people. That gives you insight into how you can relate with somebody above you. It makes you an appropriate mentee to somebody higher than you.
That's true.
No matter who you are, try to relate with your colleagues, relate with your family, it teaches you a lot of things. How to relate with an outsider. You understand? So you dehuman yourself by not having a form of relationship. Because we are social beings.
Yes, we are.
So you must relate. You can't reach your wealthy place without relationship. A strategic one indeed.
Yes, definitely a strategic one. I'm still learning how to relate with others, how to build those strategic relationships.
Yeah.
But as you mentioned, I have started a bit of a strategic relationship journal, which is kind of, it's helping me in that regard. What is, just to wrap up this second ingredient of wealth, strategic relationships, what is one piece of advice that you would give to someone concerning building strategic relationships?
Don't have a give me, getting attitude. If you have that, even to relate with your colleagues will be hard, difficult. That when people see you from afar, it's coming to get. Understand symbiotic relationship. Try to give what you have. Go into any kind of relationship with the attitude of giving. Whether they are lower than you, whether they are your colleagues, whether they are above you, you have something to give. You have time, you have talent, you have, just like I've said, we are loaded with wealth. Release your wealth in your relationship. You have knowledge, you have skill. Release them. Let others enjoy you. Life is about people. You can never be wealthy if you are not valuable to people. So it's very important that, among other things, apart from packaging yourself so that people love you around, no matter who you are, you talked about being introvert. No, you have to talk and reach out to people. All right? Call up people. Don't have attitude, you have to call me first. Reach out to people. Yes. That is the person that want to build relationship, especially a strategic one that may lead you to your wealthy place. Wow.
It has been an absolute blast having a discussion with Faith Praiz, the CEO of Mo Vibes Group, the coordinator of Resource Center, and many other titles. I'm thankful and extremely grateful for you taking out time of your busy schedule to speak with me on your book, More Than 100 Truths You Need to Know About Wealth. And thanks again for your advice on developing, building strategic relationships. We've learned to not have a give me attitude where you want to go into a relationship just to take from another person. You have to bring value as you also gain value from them. That is so important. And I'm also grateful to each and every single one of you that are listening to my voice right now or watching the video on YouTube. Thank you for always listening in and supporting the channel. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share with others, as well as comment down below any questions you may have. And of course, don't forget to check out our website. Link is in the description below. Thank you so much. If you enjoyed this episode, don't stop here. Check out these 2 videos for more insights. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications so you never miss an episode.